Bye.
Hello everyone, it's firesplitter, and this lovely evening you will see one of the... Okay, this is not one of the best games ever, but it is a fun speed game. It is a fun speed game. We're gonna play Hello Kitty Cruisers, as we said before, with all towards items, which is the most glitch-intensive category of this entire game, and we are gonna try to get used to some glitches and fun to hopefully get a good time. But this game has a lot of surprises up in its sleeves. So we're gonna start pretty early on here. Gonna start pretty easy here. Gonna start with tour 1. And I gotta do count of 3, 2, 1, start. So we're gonna start first tour here, first course on first tour. By doing a little trick here, we're gonna turn to the left there to touch that, or right there to touch the boost pad. The reason why we do that is to get a little start of the race, which is gonna make sure that we get as much speed as possible while still being in a low position. And here we see this game's version of the lightning immediately, the clocks. The clocks are just like the lightning in Mario Kart, but they are worse. They're not worse when they happen, but they are worse in how frequently they happen. Much. These are gonna happen quite a lot in the run. And a lot of how good a run is ties down to how often we get clocked. And there are some glitches that can affect how often we get clocked in a negative manner, so we are hoping that doesn't happen. That way at least, because that glitch is related to a couple of other stuff that we actually do want to happen. So this game is in the patch 1.01, which add a little interesting feature to this game. I might show it up here. Previously this game, it didn't have any collision for the walls, so they added that by turning horizontal speed to vertical speed. You can see there if we turn to the wall, so we basically go up and down instead of forward, which makes us lose speed in a weird way. Which made this game a lot more difficult to run than it's used as. And now we're entering the second course, which we are gonna wait a little bit at the start. The reason why we do this is because of this. We want to get rainbows or triple boost. Because these saves a lot of time to get, and we cannot only get them in 4th place or below, but we have a higher chance, we have a realistic chance of getting them in 4th place. There are some glitches that can make them happen for us at 1st place, but the probability of getting those items in 1st place is minimal, so we are gonna wait at the start of each, basically try to get them. Because it's so worthwhile to do it. Since I started to do that, I think my average times in this game have decreased by at least 20 seconds. Because it saves so much time potentially to... Because this game tracks what items you get on your position, not how far from 1st place you are, which means that just waiting there 1 second to start race can strongly increase your probability of getting the good items which you want, and those are required to get good times to get game. The reason for that is because of a fun little glitch I'm gonna explain when we see it, or a little later if we don't see it, because it's gonna be a little surprise. So we are playing with the boat. Now the boat controls in this game are quite horrible. The boat is very slippery, and it's very hard to do sharp turns with it. You can't really do sharp turns with the boat. Boat controls in this game is the hardest part to learn of this game. The by far hardest part to learn this game. And the hardest course of this game is, as you probably guessed by how I talked about the boat, a boating. We actually gotta go to the left here. Oh, come on, they stole my item box. Go to the left there because we don't want to have a thing happen where the game's gonna think we are further ahead in the place than we are, and basically gonna push us forward a couple of positions. We want to be as low position as possible when we pick up a first item box to increase the probability of getting a good item. As I said before, airplane in this game is mostly good. There is a not uncommon glitch with the airplane though. We're gonna get into a state I call a weighted plane. We're gonna use that on the next airplane course if we get it to basically sharp turns to normal. But mostly it's irritating. It's basically gonna pull us towards the walls if we are touching our walls. So we're gonna be able to complete sharp turns. We are gonna lose a little bit of maneuverability in general with the airplane. It is a very annoying glitch when it happens in the middle of a race and you are not aware of it. There are like a couple of glitches in this game that is affecting how the verticals there's, which are all really, really annoying. But they're like stuff you have to adapt to on the spot and be happy. But the most nasty glitch of that nature I found out about today, actually. Nastiest I've ever seen. Basically what would happen is that when I play the boat would basically be pulled towards the right no matter what I did. Like the boat would like be pulled, like it was like stuff was like a magnet was pulling the boat. You gotta wait a little here. As I said before, we want to be on lower position. It's item boxes. That's not the item we want. This is another item we can only get in last place. It's the infamous clock. Can I use it? Everyone's gonna slow down. It's not a fantastic item. There are 3 items basically we can only get if we are in lower positions. It's the clock, the rainbow, and the clock is by far the worst of these. For speedrunning purposes, it's almost completely useless. It has a minor advantage. It slows everyone down, which means they are gonna go through less item boxes, which is gonna mean that we are gonna see way less. But we can see slightly less clocks because of it, because the less item boxes the AI passes through, obviously the less likely we are to see clocks. And as this game doesn't give items based on how far people are from first place, it's actually beneficial for us to like finish courses as quickly as possible. And it makes, well, it's a speedrun, obviously, but like it's gonna reduce the probability of getting clocked as well. Let's see here. This part is actually slippery, so we are gonna... Yeah, you can see that we are slippering a little bit. We're basically just driving forward that part, so we're never seeing it, because I found a route that basically makes it able to avoid that. And go. Now we're gonna enter the scariest stage of the entire course. If this course goes well, we are gonna finish way below estimate. Way below estimate. My estimate is 33 minutes because of this course, because something really nasty can happen on this course. And there we go with the rainbow. That's what. Well, we would prefer to get a triple boost, but rainbows are a good like consolation prize. And we got the glitch. We got glitchy airplane. That is good on this course, by the way. Because of this course we can make use of the glitchy airplane. I think we have the glitchy airplane on. Yeah, we seem to have. It's a weaker version than normal, but it's definitely glitchy airplane. Basically what's gonna happen here is that we are gonna try to take this next corner as tightly as possible. Now we're gonna get pulled a little bit into the wall, which is gonna help us take this a little tighter than normal. We're not having full pull on. If we have full pull on, it's gonna be like the walls are sticky, and we are gonna get like stuck in the wall, which is really useful there, because that means you can take a really sharp turn there. And in this game, you actually don't lose time by crashing into walls, except for if you play as a car. Well, as I said before, you don't lose speed, but vertical speed gets turned to horizontal speed gets turned to vertical speed. Because of course they want to solve it like in the most bad way possible to add collision. Like the patch 1.01 is probably, in my opinion, the worst patch that's ever been released. Okay, the moment of truth now. Let's hope this goes well. I think it goes well. Yeah, we did. We survived. Okay, good. What can happen to that course, and why that course is so scary, is that course is infamous for crashing. That course can crash, and that basically loses 3 minutes. Oh, hello there. Hello there, little rainbow. We gotta wait a little bit by using the rainbow, though. If we use it before this turn here, we are gonna be thrown to a wall instead of being thrown forward, which is very unfortunate. We don't want that to happen, obviously. This is very... Oh, hello there. We like that. We're just right now in a state I call the glitchy clock. What the glitchy clock is that basically when we are getting clocked, we're getting a speed boost. You can see the speed boost version of that in a couple of courses. But when we are in a speed boost state, basically if we get clocked there, we are what the clock basically does. What the clock basically does is that it does like put your maximum speed at a certain percentage of your current maximum. Normally it does take any speed boost into account, but it doesn't do so here because you are not in a speed state when you are like leading it and have a different top speed. So then it's gonna lock you on a higher top speed than normal for the duration of the clock, which is really powerful. It's a really powerful glitch in the player's advantage. It can work in reverse too in nasty ways. That's very rarely happens. And we got a clock. That's not what we want. Don't like the clocks. We don't like to get them, and we don't like getting them used on us. As I said earlier, it is because the clock is very much not useful for us. It's basically not giving us anything. Because in this game, the AI is rarely gonna be a problem. In some courses, it can actually be a little harmful for us to get clocks. And there we go. I'm gonna explain this glitch now. Because we got it. We got the glitch. This is the most powerful glitch in the entire game. You can get any item in first place as long as it was the previous item you have. It's a very inconsistent glitch. But basically what happens is probably, this is like all guesses. And you can see we are getting like clocks for ages here. This is what can happen. This can happen to the AI too. And if that happens with the AI, the run is pretty much over at that point, because then we gotta get clocked for like the entire course. So what happens here is probably... yeah, there is over. We cannot get clocks anymore now. What happens is, I think, is that the game is having like two variables for the item. How many charges you have and what item you have. This is a theory I came up with based on reverse engineering of this game's RNG engine. Like I tried to replicate this glitch. Yeah, you can see this in like reverse effect now. Once you get clocked once, you are gonna get clocked. It's an annoying glitch. It's really annoying, but it's really useful too, because if we can do that with triple boost, we can actually get like 6 triple boosts in one course, which is extremely powerful. But yeah, what's happening there is that there is probably two variables, and there is an algorithm, I think. This is basically how I replicated it. I replicated it by making an algorithm that was gonna check for if you have 0 items, for both if they want to recharge and if they want to change the item, and have 2 different threads taking care of that without having any secret. Which means that in rare conditions a race condition can occur, which means that basically, not to go into too much detail about it, basically it means that things are happening out of sequence. It's gonna put in the charges before it changes the items, which means that when it comes to change the items, the charges are no longer 0. Therefore, the game is gonna think you already had an item, which is the item you had before. Then it's gonna be like, nope, we're not gonna change item, and you get the same item you had because you had charges left. So you are gonna get the same item as before. It's a very powerful glitch, as I said, and here we're gonna explain the better version of the glitch with the clock. Basically, what we are doing here, we are constantly getting more speed. And of course we missed that, because we had too much speed. Doesn't matter too much though, actually. It was actually beneficial that we missed it there. It's still bad that we missed it. So basically we keep getting more and more speed in this course, because the circles are like so close to one another, so we are still at the ending of a speed when we get to the next circle, which means that we are gonna get a percentage of that speed we have as a new top speed, which means we are gonna just get more and more top speed. We're gonna have way more top speed than normally allowed for. It's a very, very, very powerful glitch. And with a rainbow here, that's lovely. We love rainbows here. As long as the rainbow doesn't throw us into a potato. This course is known as the Potato Road because of these potatoes that are significant for this course. On this course, we basically try to get around potato cycles and not getting squished by potatoes. Getting squished by potatoes is gonna be like being crashing into a cone, which is gonna be very, very horrible. If we can get a duplication here of the rainbow. No, we couldn't. One has to try though. As I said before, it's the most powerful glitch at our disposal to try to save time. It is the by far most powerful glitch, and I've actually had runs, like the world record runs has that glitch happen multiple times throughout the run. Which gives it a really, really ridiculously good time to beat. Oh no, we are stuck in a clock cycle. That happens. That is Hello Kitty Kruisers. Let's hope we're out of it. Let's hope we're out of it. Go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And here we go. And we across the finish line right here. That was the end of Potato Road, the weirdest course of the game. That course can either go pretty well or pretty bad. We thankfully didn't have too many nasty clocks happen and we were on good potato cycle. As normal, we're gonna stop here, start, and see if it's something good from the item box, which we didn't. This course is a really long course with a lot of straight lines, so this is a wonderful time to read any donation.
Well, I can tell you that we've got a couple more sets of pearlers that you can get with donations. The set of Hello Kitty pearlers is available for any donation that comes in before the top of the hour. It is over at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're closing out donations for the Untitled Goose Game pearlers. That is the next run coming up. And as always, you can buy any of the SpeedGaming Live 2021 t-shirts. They've got event logo t-shirts and t-shirts from some of your favorite games with very kind of stylized versions of Simon Belmont's whip and a question mark block from Mario, a Minecraft pickaxe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle weapons, and some rupees and a Master Sword from Legend of Zelda. So those are really cool. All of your donations go towards the prize pools for next year's tournaments during the marathon. So and you can always donate to as well to nominate a game for a tournament for next year to get one of your maybe favorite speedrunning communities a little bit more exposure, have a chance for those hardworking runners to do their runs for prize money, which is not something that happens all that often. We're happy to provide that opportunity here at SpeedGaming Live. So any donations coming in will go towards that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, one little thing about this course. As you can see at the start of this course, there were like two circles, one inner and one outer. Normally, like mathematically, it would better go for the inner one, right? But that is almost an impossibility due to how it's located. It's located in such a way it's like almost impossible to get to it. Here we go. Here we come to one course that is gonna be very, very interesting. There is one thing on this course I want you all to keep a lookout for. Stop a little bit here because we want to have a shot at getting a triple course powerful. That corner there you can see that I looked at there. Keep a look on that corner on the map because that corner is gonna be very, very interesting. We're all seeing it happening. The top right corner on the left square. As you can see, there are two AIs stuck in the wall there. That is completely normal. That's completely normal. It is even possible for every single AI on the course to be stuck there eventually. Because the AI is gonna think that they can get through that wall to get to a shortcut, because the game doesn't register. The AI doesn't understand there's a wall there. They think that it's like the shortest route forward in the race. They're just gonna go to that wall and be stuck there. If they get to that point. As you can see there, yeah, you can see there's like a lovely little group of AIs there stuck in the wall. The AI in this game is, as you've probably seen on this course as well, not exactly the best AI in gaming history. It's not like the best AI in gaming history. It's so bad. So bad. And the problem with the Rainbow, as you have seen a little bit, is that Rainbow uses the same routing as the AI does. So when I said before earlier in one course I didn't want to use the Rainbow at a certain point, it's because I know that if I use the Rainbow there, I am gonna get stuck in a similar situation. There are a couple of points like that in this run where you can't use Rainbow for that particular thing. So you normally would be like, that's a really good spot to use Rainbow on, but it's not, because the AI is gonna be very poorly routed to that point. So we have to take AI routing into account with strategies in this game because of how the Rainbow operates. So here comes probably the easiest course in the entire game. I kinda sometimes call this course the baby park because it has the baby park feel. There's basically boosts all over the place and item boxes all over the place, and you are basically just going as fast as possible throughout all these routes. It's a fun course, but it's like a little bit on the end. Only nasty can happen in this course is basically if someone gets a clock and basically slows you down, which is pretty nasty, always. Speaking of the clocks, we should never talk about them because they love to appear when I talk about them. They have that lovely little habit. And here we go. They have that lovely little habit. There we go. Now I'm gonna enter the final tour. The final tour is, as you probably guessed, the hardest tour of the game. And there are some actually genuinely hard parts here. So far this game has been pretty easy, and it's still gonna be pretty easy if you're trying to play it casually, but we're speedrunning, which means we are gonna try to go for some really strategies. Getting a rainbow there is pretty good. We can actually use rainbow there because the rainbow is working pretty well at that point. There is a point late where the rainbow is not going to work well. Let's see if we can get a double rainbow. And get a double rainbow. I don't think we've seen a single triple boost this round, have we? Would be love to show those off because they are really good. Because the rainbows are not the reason why we are stopping at start, because the rainbows take very little time for the return. But we are basically doing that stuff for, well, rainbows are good, but we're doing that for the chance to get, because the triple boosts are amazingly powerful. Especially if you can trigger the item duplication glitch that happened with the clock. If that happens, like, that is so good. If that happens once, it's worth its interest what we are paying in time to stop and start each race. We're saving more time by having that happen once than we do by stopping at every single course, which is what we are doing. Because it saves like a lot of time if we just get triple boost. Like even getting as many rainbows as we have, I think, have actually saved time. But we are not doing that trick for the rainbows. We are doing it. What is important in this course are the B cycles. Thankfully, we haven't gotten clocked, so the B cycles are not a problem. The B cycles can be a problem if we're getting clocked a certain amount of time, because then we can get what I call impossible cycles, which are B cycles we can't really get through no matter what we do without getting hit by a B. So here we come to the last airplane course. But this course is pretty nasty. Well, it has a lot of birds in it. So we are gonna get to what I refer to as bird cycles. Yeah, try to keep track on those, but if we get clocked at... Oh, hello! There we have the triple boost I talked about. This is the most powerful item in this game. We'll see why. Get free charges here. And due to the little glitch I talked about before, are getting increased speed because of that. We keep on increasing our speed thanks to that triple boost. The glitch I talked about before with how the boosts interact with one another. So there we are. That's why it's very, very important we get free boost, because that means we can basically keep on pushing up our top speed. Go. And we can finish the third lap here. This was a really interesting one. Oh, we got bird. We got bird. Ah, there we go. I activate the glitch there. I was able to turn that animation even though you're normally not able to, which means that the bird barely loses 10 times hit the time. It's a pretty nasty trick to activate, but it's very, very good if you do it. Here we come to the hardest course of the game, and I actually developed a new strategy for this course just yesterday, which I am gonna try to use this round. This is the by far hardest trick in this entire game, or the hardest course in general. But this trick in particular pushes it like far over. You try to get into a little opening here. The problem with that opening is that there are two obstacles covering it, and the boat controls in this game are horrible. It's very, very hard to do that precisely. It's very hard to use the boat precisely. But I have a little bit of setup. Like, this entire course is a long setup to do that trick. Are driving very, very precisely throughout every single part of this course, so basically be in the right angles to make this possible. There we go, 2 out of 3 so far. Can we get 3 out of 3? That would be lovely. So we are getting through here. Oh, God. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, come on. No, the bad AI is punishing us. Yes, the AI is driving the wrong way. The AI can't play this course. This course is hard. This course is hard even for human players. I can't stress enough how hard it was for me to learn this course. Like, even without all of these scary tricks when I was learning this game. That's 3 out of 3 of the tricks. It was just unfortunate that we got stuck, that we got attacked by the AIs there. There we are. That was that. Now we are into the final course. And this course is gonna have a little interest to talk about. There's gonna be some crabs here. They don't look like crabs. They used to look sort of like crabs, but then 1.01 came out, and they broke the sprites of the crabs. Yes, I am not joking. I'm not joking. They basically destroyed these crabs sprites in 1.01. There was an update, they updated this game, and now the crabs look like that. They actually used to look like crabs. Part of me won't take credit for it, because I used to joke about that those crabs looked like cars, and that they were cars, because they reminded me so much of the cars in the mall stage in Mario Kart. I was jokingly calling these crabs cars, and now they look like sport cars. I won't take credit for that, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But that's what I tell myself at night. That's what I tell myself at night before I fall asleep, so I can get up again to play this game in the morning. I won't pretend I made a difference by playing this game, so I keep on playing it. So here we go. Yeah, those crabs are... It's interesting. The problem with 1.01, in my opinion, is it was a patch that just made the game work. As the wall collision, that's really not good, and it's really not good for from a visual perspective, from a presentation perspective for the game. If you touch a wall and the camera jumps, that is not the kind of stuff that makes you want to play a game. The only thing I think that was positive that version of the game added was that they have more animations. They added another glitch we are not gonna see in speedruns as well, on the starting screen, that makes the game almost impossible to start, because you have to press L and R at the exact same time to start the game. Previously you just had to hold them at the same time, but now you have to press them at the exact same frame basically to get the game started. But here we go. We got enter the finish line to the final race, and boom! That's time. 29-14. There we go. That was a look at the Kruisers. All tours items. I hope you all enjoyed the run, and that you had such as lovely of a time as I had running this game, watching this run.
All right. Thanks, firesplitter. Thanks for that run. That game looks like a lot of fun. I hope that they fix those crabs at some point for your sake. And thanks for running it here at SpeedGaming Live.
Thank you so much for having me. It was super fun to run this game for this event.